I finished my math for this week.
Okay, so Solomon, yep, it's the same. So feel free. If you've already done all the work, you already know you don't have to stay.
Okay.
If you already did. So A is the number that's in front of our x squared term. So it was always 1, which made this really easy because what multiplied to equal x squared? It was just x and x. And then when we were multiplying to figure out what added to 5x and what multiplied to 6, it was really easy because we just multiplied by a 1x here. So it was always this number and this number. So this week it's going to be a little bit more involved, but it's still the same. It's just a little bit. You just have to think a little bit more. So now see we have 2x squared, and you're going to see how that changes how we do our factoring. Okay, answer fine. Okay, so first we need to draw a 2x2 box. So give yourself a nice big box. So 4 boxes by 6 boxes. And you're going to want the little box in the center. Next, label the sides. Step 2 is we are going to label the boxes. So our x squared term, the first one always goes in this top left box, so 2x squared, and then the 11x goes in this little box, and then the 12 goes here. So you fill in this diagonal. Then you're going to find the sides of the x squared box. So remember last time these were always the same. So we didn't have this number in front here. It was just the x squared. So it was always x and x, or a squared, a and a. Now, since it's 2x squared, well, what multiplies to give us 2x squared? We're going to have to do a 2x times a single x. So now you'll notice these are different, which means the number that we put here is just getting multiplied by an x. But the number that we put here is going to be getting multiplied by a 2 and an x. So that's why we have to be a little bit more careful now, because before it didn't matter. When we knew that it was 2 and 3, we could put the 2 here and the 3 here, or we could have reversed it, or we could have put the 2 here and the 3 here. But now we can't, because something here is going to get multiplied by 2 and something here is not. Okay, so now we're going to guess and check to find the other 2 sides. Okay, so we know that it has to multiply to 12. So we want to think, what are all the ways we can multiply to 12? So 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. If it were a negative, we would have to look at negatives. But since we know it's multiplying to a positive and adding to a positive, we're not going to do any negatives, because technically -1 and -12 multiply to give us positive 12, but that wouldn't add to a positive. So we know it's all going to be positives. Now it's kind of just guess and checking. So here's where you want to use a pencil. No, mommy needs it. Okay, so you want to use a pencil here because you're kind of just putting things in and seeing what works. So I'm kind of looking at it and I'm thinking 1 and 12. If I put a 12 here, I could try a 12 here and a 1 here. And you kind of just guess and check. So that would give me 12x. A 2 and a 1 there would give me 2x, but 12x and 2x, that's 14x. And if I switched it, it would be way too big. If I put the 12 up here, that would give me 24, so nothing near there. So I know it's not 1 and 12. So 2 and 6, let's see, if I wanted to do 2 and 6, where would I put the 2 and the 6? If I put the 6 up here, that would give me 12, which would automatically be too big. So I would want to put the 2 here and the 6 here. So 2x times 2x would give me 4x. 6 times x would give me 6x. That only gives me 10x, not 11x. So we know it's not 2 and 6. So 3 and 4. We know it's got to be 3 and 4. Now we just have to figure out where we want to put the 3 and where we want to put the 4. So if I multiply 3 times 2, that'd give me 6, and then a 4 would only give me 10. So it looks like I probably want my 3 here and my 4 here. Let's see. If I do 2x times 4, that gives me 8x. And if I do 3 times x, that gives me 3x. And there it is. There's our 11x. So now we know our sides, and we can do our last step, which is write the factored expression. So we now know that it's a +4 over here and a +3 over here. So if we multiply 2x plus 3 times x plus 4, that'll give us 2x squared plus 11x plus 12. Times x plus 4. Okay, any question on the notes so far? All right, let's go ahead and practice this. So go ahead and open up your workbook. And turn to page 81. All right, so let's go ahead and follow our steps. So step 1 says we're going to draw a 2x2 box. And then we want to label the boxes. We have 2n squared, we have a -7n, and we have a -30. And then we need to find the sides of this first box. So what multiplies to give us 2n squared? There's only one option, 2n times n. Then we have to figure out all the ways to multiply to get -30. And then we have to find what, when multiplied by 2 plus whatever's multiplied by n, will give us -7n. So there's -30 and 1. There's 30 and -1. There's 15 and 2. So negative 15 times positive 2, positive 15 and negative 2. Or there is 6 and 5. So negative 6 and positive 5, or positive 6 and negative 5. So looking and seeing that this is negative 7n though, and something's getting multiplied by 2, I'm thinking I want to start with the smallest numbers. I think that's my best shot at getting negative 7. So with my pencil, I'm going to try, let's just guess and check. So let's put the negative 6 here and the positive 5 here. 2n times 5 is 10n. Negative 6 times n is negative 6n. So does that add to negative 7n? No, we have 10 and we're taking away 6. So that would only give us 4n.
Is it okay if you do it the long way?
Is it okay if you do it the what way, Dakota?
The longer way, because it makes it much easier.
What long way?
I wrote 2n over 2 subtracted by. I did the problem and then I broke it down further down. It's like I don't know how this guy just broke it down to get the answer.
As long as you're getting the correct answer, I don't know. There's really no other way to do it. I mean, other than doing it just mentally, but you're doing the exact same thing that we're doing in the boxes. Okay, so let's try switching them. So let's move the 5 down here and the negative 6 up here. So if we do 2n times negative 6, we get negative 12n, and 5 times n, which gives us positive 5n. And negative 12n plus 5n is negative 7n. So then we know that our sides are n minus 6 and 2n plus 5. So this is our answer, 2n plus 5 times n minus 6. When we multiply those, we get 2n squared minus 7n minus 30. Okay, I'll do one more and then I'll let you guys practice on your own. So make sure to stop me if you have any questions. Here we have 3n squared minus 37n plus 90. So what multiplies to give us 90? We have 90 and 1. We have 30 and 3. We have 45 and 2. We have 15 and 6. And then we are multiplying and getting a positive 90. And when we add, we're getting a negative 37. So that tells me that all of these are going to be negatives, because the two negatives will multiply to the positive 90 and then add to the negative 37. Okay, so what multiplies to give us 3n squared? We know that's 3n and n. So one thing's going to get multiplied by 3 and n, and the thing we put down here is only going to get multiplied by n. So let's see, where do we want to start? Probably 90 and 1 is too big to get negative 37. So for now, let's cross that off. 30 and 3. Let's see. So you kind of want to do some in your head. 30 and 3. I don't think that's going to give it to us either, but we can check just to make sure. So to get negative 30, we'd probably want to put the negative 30 here and the negative 3 here. but that's going to give us negative 33. Sorry, not negative 33, negative 90n. And that's going to give us negative 3n. So that's way off. If we switched it, we would end up with 33. So we know it's not going to be this one. So it really is just guessing and checking. It's just plugging in and seeing what works. So now we know it's not that one. Let's see. 45, let's try 45 and 2. So we would get negative 6n. Here we would get negative 45n. Nope, so that one doesn't work either. Okay, and then we have 15 and 6. So let's see, if we put 15, we would need to put the 15 here and the 6 here. So we would get negative 45, and then we would get negative 6, which still doesn't work. So I must be missing one. What else multiplies to give us 90? So you can always do a factor tree. So we would do 90 and 1, and then 45 and 2, 3 and 15, which we have. I don't think we missed any. Unless this, I accidentally put one that doesn't factor. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Tiana. That's the one I missed. 10 and 9. I forgot. Negative 10 and negative 9. Okay, so if we put negative 10 here and negative 9 here, there we go. We get negative 27 and then negative 10n. Yay, thank you, Tiana. And that combines to negative 37, and then negative 10 times negative 9 multiplies to give us positive 90. So it is 3n minus 10 times n minus 9. Okay, how are you guys feeling? Do you feel like you guys are ready to try it on your own, or do you want me to go over a few more with you guys? send it to me in the chat what you. Okay. Let's do a few more. So we'll label 5r squared plus 28r plus 32. Okay, and then we have to write what multiplies to give us 5r squared. So to get 5r squared, we have 5r times r. And then we have to think of all the ways that we multiply and get 32. And then we have a positive 32 and a positive 28r. So we know we're just dealing with positives here. So then what multiplies to give us 32? 32 and 1, 2 and 16, 8 and 4. Did I miss any? Send it to me in the chat if I did. So let's see. 32 and 1. We can try it and see. We put a 32 here, we'll get 32r.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I completed everything else. But for the way you're getting the answers, I'm getting the right answers, but do they have to be in a certain order when I put them down?
Nope. Like you
Okay.
had n minus 9 times 3n minus 10?
Yes.
Yep. Nope, that's the same thing.
Okay.
The order you multiply doesn't matter. So yeah, that's the commutative property that multiplication has. So yep, that's fine. Okay, so 32 times r, we get 32r. And then if we put the 1 here, though, we're going to get 5r. So those don't work. If we switched it, it still wouldn't work. Because 32 times 5 is going to give us a huge number, which isn't anywhere close to the 28r we're trying to get. So we can cross that one off. 16 and 2, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe 4 and 8. Let's try 4 and 8 because I kind of can see that if I multiply 5 times 4, that'll give me 20, and then plus 8 will give me the 28r. So of course, do as much in your head as you can without, it'll just save you time. Once you get the hang of it, you can do a lot of it mentally. So 5r times 4, I see that that gives me 20r, and then 8 times r gives me 8r. So that adds to give me the 28, and then the 8 times the 4 multiplies to give me that 32 I need. So my answer here is 5r plus 8 times r plus 4. Any questions about number 3? All right, I'll go ahead and do one more. So we have 5n squared minus 37n minus 24.
Can I do this one?
Sure.
Okay.
So what multiplies to give us 5n squared, Dakota?
I didn't do it like that.
Okay, but let's do it like this though, because I want to keep it consistent.
Okay.
Do you want to try doing it this way?
Okay, but you say the problem again.
What's that?
Can you say it again?
Yeah, so what multiplies to give us 5n squared?
Can you do 5 times 1?
Yeah, so the numbers, yep, there's going to be a 5 here, and this one will just be a 1, so we're not going to write it. And then what are the variables? What two things are going to multiply to give us n squared?
It's still n squared?
So to get n squared, yep, we have to do n times n. So 5n times n will give us that 5n squared. And then you've already done some guessing and checking, it sounds like. So what did you find? What multiplied to give us negative 24? And then what added to give us the negative 37 when it got multiplied by 5?
Sorry, I did 5 times 37 squared in. Yes, I didn't do how that they did. That's why I did it was 5n squared 2 subtracted by 37 in. Well, this okay, and then I did 5 plus 36 squared subtracted by 24 and got 185 squared in 3 negative 39.
That's your answer?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not, because remember, we're trying to find what multiplies. When we multiply it back, what gives us this? So if we multiply that back, what you have, I don't think it's going to give us this. So let's see. So you might want to try it this way. This way is, it looks like more work, but it really is the easiest way to do it. So maybe give this way a try. So we have 5n and n, which gives us the 5n squared. Then we have to figure out what's going to multiply to give us negative 24. And then when we multiply this number by 5, we'll add to give us negative 37. So let's see. So negative 24, we're going to be dealing with negatives here. So we could do negative, of course, negative 24 and 1. We can do, what else multiplies to 24? We have 8 and 3. We have 6 and 4, and we have 12 and 2. And it may be that the 8's negative or that the 3's negative, or so there's lots of different options. So we can switch these negatives around too. Let's see, 24. If we multiply that by 5, that's not going to work. And then that would just be plus an n. There's no way to get to negative 37 with that one. Let's see. Negative 8 times 5 would be 40. Or 3 times 5 would be 15 plus 8. So I'm kind of just guessing and checking in my head, which you can do too. So it doesn't look like it's going to be the 8 and the 3. Let's see if we do 12 and 2. Don't think so. 12 here would be 60, which is way too big, and 2 here would be 2. If we switch it and we do 12 here and 2 there, that would be 12 and then plus 10. So it can't be that one.
I found the answer.
You did? Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Which one, what numbers work?
The answer I got was n subtracted by 9. No, n subtracted by 8.
Yep.
And then the quotation marks of 5 n plus 3.
Yep. And so see, I just messed up doing it in my head. It is this one. So 5n times negative 8, that gives us our negative 40n. And then 3 times n, that gives us our positive 3n. Which adds to the negative 37. And then 3 times negative 8, which gives us negative 24. Thank you, Dakota. Okay, any questions? I know this is a lot and it's complicated. There's a lot of math going on here. So any questions before I have you guys work on one on your own? Let's see, it is 10:37. We need to do two-step factoring too. So we'll just try to finish the front page really quickly here. So let's have the first half of you. We have 1, 2, 3, we have 10 people, 9 people. So let's have, to work on 5 and 6, I'm gonna have Amari, Cheyenne, Dakota, and Esmeralda. Go ahead and work on 5 and 6. And then for 7 and 8, Kaleni, Lenice, Savannah, and Tiana, go ahead and work on numbers 7 and 8, and then we'll go over them. And if you have questions, go ahead and send it to me in the chat and I can help you as you're working.
I finished.
Okay, great. We'll give everyone a couple more minutes and then we'll go over them. let's go ahead and go over these. So for number 5, Amari, what multiplied to give us 3k squared?
Is it 15 times 4?
No, I'm just asking just what multiplied to give us 3k squared. What do I put on this side and this side?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the empty boxes.
No problem.
Just 3K?
Yep, 3k times what?
Okay.
Good. Okay, and then Cheyenne, did you figure out what multiplied here to give us negative 60 and then added to 8k? I see you're trying to talk, Cheyenne. Can we just not hear you? Maybe it's not working. She unmuted, but we can't hear her. Dakota, what did you find? What multiplied here? What do we want to put here?
3x, no, 6.
So does the 6 go with the k or with the 3k?
It goes with the k.
Okay. So a 6 here,
Yes.
and then what did you put here?
3.
3k plus 3?
No, I put okay. I think it's 3k again.
So we have 3k already. So it's just a number.
Okay, then yeah, that's pushed the wrong one. 6 should be at the bottom, I think, and 3k should be at the top. That's right. I got
So
3
then
and
we can just
6.
switch the numbers. So you think this? So you got 3k plus 6?
Yes.
Okay. So then yes, we want to put the 6 down there. And then what went with the k?
That 3k. I'm not sure.
Let me switch my pencil. Okay, so let's try. So you think it's with the 10 and the 6? So let's try it. So if we do a 10 there and a 6 here, and we know that it needs to be a positive. So let's see. If we do 3k times 10, that would be 30, and 6 times k would be 6k. However, these don't multiply to negative, so we have to make one of them negative. But either one we make negative is not going to give us our 8k. So I think we need to try to switch them. Can't erase that one. So let's try putting the 6 up here where we originally had it, and then the 10 down here. And then 3k times 6, that would give us 18k. And then 10 times k would give us our 10k. So we'd want the 10 to be negative, right? Because then 18k minus 10k will give us our positive 8k. So our answer then is 3k minus 10 times k plus 6. So we just write our sides. So 3k minus 10 and then k plus 10.
That's what I understand. Like, I get that. Okay, how would you word it how would you word it if like I got the answer at the bottom, but I don't know how to put them into like, so I did it in like a math problem way.
So you got this answer? But how do I put it? I don't quite understand. Sorry, Dakota.
Okay.
So this is it. This is the answer that we're looking for. When we multiply 3k by 10 times k plus 6, we end up with this top expression.
Yes, but the way you did, I know the way you did in the box. I'm talking about doing it like writing it out.
Doing it without using the boxes?
Yes, I did it like, here, I'll show you. I did it like this onto the math.
And did someone show you to do it that way, or you just kind of came up with that way?
I did it that way because the boxes really confused me.
as a teacher, this is the clearest way. I've tried other ways of teaching factoring, and we should be familiar with the boxes. So that's why I did multiplying with the boxes. So then we should be super familiar with them by now. So, because we started with way back, remember how we multiplied using the boxes?
I didn't do the boxes on that one either. I wrote it out.
Yeah, so it makes a lot more sense when you start this way, using the boxes, because then we worked having the sides. Remember how we multiplied k plus 5 times k plus 5, and we worked from having the sides and then finding the expression that multiplied to. Now we're just doing the reverse. So it's an area model. So before we had the length and the width of our rectangle, and then we had to find the area of the rectangle. Now we have the area of the rectangle, and we're doing the reverse. Now we have the inside, and now we have to find the length and the width. So you're just working backwards to figure out what the area of this box is. 3k squared. So my length and my width, they have to multiply to give me 3k squared. So what multiplies to give me 3k squared? 3k and k. And then you're just working backwards here too. What multiplies to give me negative 60? Negative 10 and 6. Or whatever it is. And you just have to, it's just guessing and checking. These ones are harder because the k is different. But last week, we didn't have to worry about that. When we did it this way, we could put whatever. It was really simple, just what multiplied to 63 and what added to negative 16. And then we put it in. So it's hard to just jump to it now, but it's still possible. It is easier if you had done it all along the way. And this one's definitely way more confusing with the boxes because there's a lot of guessing and checking that you have to do since our coefficient is not 1. I don't know if that helps you at all, Dakota, sorry. So let's try to do this one together, Dakota. So what multiplies to give us 5m squared?
5 times 1.
Times 1. Okay. I don't want to write the 1 though, because we don't need to write the 1. So that's our numbers. And then what variables multiply to give us m squared?
Would it be 4?
To give us m, so m squared, that's just m multiplied 2 times, right?
Oh, okay.
So it's m and m. So m times m is m squared, and then if we do 5m times m, that will give us the 5m squared.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so Dakota, this side over here times this side is what gives us our 36. So this times this, so what multiplies to 36?
7, 4.
No. So we could start with 36 and 1. And then a lot of times we kind of think of 6 and 6. 6 times 6 is 36. There's 12 and 3. So it's just a little trickier now because today one of these is getting multiplied by 5, where last week we didn't have that. So that's why we're guessing and checking now this week. So let's see, if we put 36 and 1, we have to get a negative 49. So this box and this box has to add to give us this negative 49, which means they would both have to be negative because it has to multiply to a positive and add to negative. Does that make sense so far, Dakota?
Yes.
Okay. And then let's see, we also need our 9 and our 4. And then it's really just plugging in and seeing which one works. So 36 and 1, if we do 36 here, and 1 here. That would give us 36M and 5M, which is only 41M. So it's not going to be this one. If we do 6 and 6, 6 times 5 is 30, plus another 6 would only be 36. So we need 49. So it's not going to be that one. And then if we do 12 and 3, that would be small that way. So let's try 12 and 3 this way. So that would give us negative 60 though, which is too big, and negative 3. So it can't be this one. And then let's try 5M minus 4 and M minus 9. So we get negative 4 times M. So with this model, we're just finding the area of each box. So now the area of this box is 4 times this top piece right here, which is M. So that gives us our negative 4M. And then the area of this box is 5M times negative 9, which is negative 45. And now those add to our negative 49M. And then the negative 9 and the negative 4 multiply to give us our positive 36. So that's our answer. M minus 9 times 5M minus 4.
Yeah, I got that answer, but just not the same way you did.
Okay, well, as long as you can get there, if it makes sense to you, you can use it.
Okay.
Okay, number 7, let's see. We are running out of time. We're not even going to get to our two-step factoring today, or our Kahoot, bummer. Okay, so for number 7 and 8, Tiana, how did you do number 7?
What I did is 5 times 5.
Okay.
Or one of them has to be negative, so I put the upper one negative.
With the one with the M?
Yeah.
Okay, was negative 5, and then this one was positive 5?
Yeah.
Perfect. So 2M times negative 5, very good, is negative 10M, and 5 times M is positive 5M. Yep, which perfectly adds to negative 5 and multiplies to negative 25. Very good, Tiana. Thank you. And then for number 8, Savannah, what multiplies to give us our 7n squared?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, just what would our sides be right here so that it would multiply to 7n squared?
N
Mm-hmm.
and 7n.
Right, very good, thank you. And then anyone from the second group, can you tell me what you found worked here? What our numbers would be here to get negative 18n and negative 40? Did any of you get it? No? You could send it to me in the chat too. Not sure. Okay. So let's try, well, what multiplies to negative 40? So we have negative 40 and 1, or if switched. So it would be 40 and 1, it would be 20 and 2, it would be 10 and 4. And so we won't even write the signs. We'll just figure out which sign it's going to be as we go. So 40 and 1, put 40 here and 1 here, that's not going to be anywhere close to negative 18. 20 and 2, 20 times 7, that's going to give us a really big number. So we would have to put the 20 down here. If we put the 2 up here though, that would only give it, that would give us 20 and 14, which is too big. So it's looking like it's going to be the 10 and the 4. think I would want to put the 10 here. No, the 10 here. Well, let's try it so you can see why it wouldn't go here. So 7 times 10 would give us 70, and the 4 here would give us just 4. So that's not going to work to get us the negative 18. But if we switch it, when we put the 10 here and the 4 here, we get 28n, and then we get 10n. And we know that it needs to multiply to negative 40. So we now know that we want to make the 10 a negative, because then 28n, take away 10 of those n's, will leave us with our negative 18. So then our answer is 7n minus 10 times n plus 4.
You can't really see the bottom of the answer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are we gonna do the
The two
back page too?
Yes. So yeah, on your own. You guys will have to do those on your own for practice. Yes.
And sorry for not turning it in yesterday because it was a rough day yesterday.
Oh, no problem. That's all right. So yeah, unfortunately we didn't get through too much today because it's a lot harder and more involved, this factoring. So it took us a while. It's already 11 o'clock, goodness. And sorry, my hands look like reptiles. I painted my garage last night. We all of a sudden, my family, we are going out on a limb and possibly selling our house and buying a new house. And so we're trying to get our house sold really quickly. So yeah, it's been a crazy couple of days and my hands, yeah, I can't even, I tried scrubbing off the paint and it's still not coming off. So yes, you're gonna need to do the back of page 82. I want you guys to practice because I know it's hard and I think a lot of us are still struggling. So go ahead and you want to do the back of page 82 to get that practice, and then two-step factoring, which shouldn't be so bad. Go ahead and copy the notes. There's the video. So you watch the video and copy the notes. And two-step factoring, it's just putting together the two things that we did last week. So first you're going to factor out the GCF, and then you're going to factor with the 4 boxes. So the problems take some time, but you know how to do them. It's just more time consuming. And if you guys have any questions on those, we can go over them in 2 weeks before you, well, the test is next week, actually. You can send them to me. Just email me if you have any questions. So that's pretty much it.